Take hold of my hand and you'll understand what it truly means to be friends. You've got to believe in the power.
Hey guys, so today, as the title says, I'm doing TAG, Sisterhood of World Bloggers Awards. I don't know who created this, but I was tagged by Mary from Books and Cookies Book Talk. I will link her video down below. There are 10 questions. Basically what you're supposed to do is answer the questions for the person who tagged you and then create 10 more. I'm not creating 10 more. I did that like 3 times on Tumblr. I'm not gonna do that. Sorry, I'm lame. Besides, you're supposed to tag 10 more people, and I'm not doing that either because I can think of one person who would do it. So, not creating questions, not tagging anybody, I'm sorry. I have to film like 20 videos anyway, and I want to keep this short. So, let's get on to the questions. Mary's questions are 1, your favorite secondary character. The first one that came to my mind is Hermione Granger from Harry Potter by J.K. Rowling. I love Hermione Granger. She is incredibly smart. She is considered the most important female role model in fiction for girls currently. How could I not pick Hermione Granger? She's not afraid to be bossy. She's not afraid to be a know-it-all. She's not afraid to raise her hand. She's not afraid to tell you what she thinks. She's not afraid to get mad at you. She almost cursed Ron. Harry ran the frack away from her when she wanted her wand to curse Ron because 1, he didn't want her to, and 2, he was scared of what she would do with it. I really love Hermione Granger, and yes, she's definitely my favorite secondary character. Number 2, the most underrated series. Y'all should know this. I'm going with The Black Jewels by Anne Bishop. I love this series. It is my favorite series right alongside The Lord of the Rings. I absolutely love this. I am currently in the middle of rereading it for hashtag a yearathon. I know hashtag a yearathon ended by the time you guys are watching this, but I have to film it now, and I just love it to death. OMG. Friday I will be talking about the series as a whole in my book review Fridays. 3, best cliffhanger. Yep. The Mark of Athena by Rick Riordan. In fact, it's such a great cliffhanger that in the House of Hades, his dedication is, to my fans, sorry about that last cliffhanger. Well, not really. Bah! And it does like an evil laugh or something. This cliffhanger just ripped me up. I remember I read it and I went, I am so glad I'm so behind on Percy Jackson and Heroes of Olympus. The House of Hades came out like a week or 2 after I read The Mark of Athena. I didn't have to wait a year like everyone else did, and that was really, really nice. I still had to wait like 2 months or so, but that's nothing compared to the year that everyone else had to wait for. But this cliffhanger, my jaw was on the floor, and I sat there in shock for like 2 weeks. And then I realized I couldn't get House of Hades for a while, and that bothered me because I was in the middle of a cliffhanger. I had to know what happened. Number 4, most unusual book you've ever read. Now, if we're going to talk about books I've just picked up and read and then put down because it was so unusual I couldn't, it was Francesca Lia Block. Her writing style is very weird. I didn't pick up a Wheezyback book because Raven wouldn't let me. She gave me a weird book and I despised it. I didn't like the characters and the writing style was just too out there for me. I don't think I'll like anything by her because I already tried it and I didn't like that. It was too unusual for me. It was too out there. Not my cup of tea. However, if we want to talk about a book I actually finished, I'm gonna go back to Black Jewels. I was shocked how much I liked it. I was shocked that I loved the prologue as much as I did. I will link me reading it out loud down below because every time I read it out loud. It blew my mind how unusual it is. It's such an epic fantasy. At the beginning, it has some explanations on different terms and things, and it tries to set you up so that you can get sucked into it. And it is very strange, but I love it. Number 5, favorite book to movie adaptation. This is a controversial answer, but I'm going with The Desolation of Smaug. Peter Jackson transcended The Hobbit, and a lot of people don't believe that, and a lot of people don't agree with that because of Taddeo and Killy. Not that. That's not Peter Jackson's idea. If you've seen it's on YouTube, it's the Hobbit web event. Before this came out, or after it came out, you had to buy the movie and then you saw it. Lily Evangeline, or Evangeline Lilly, whatever her name is, who played Taddeo, stated that in her contract, she could not be in a love triangle. Originally, it was just her and Legolas, and then Peter Jackson came to her and was like, we have to put you in this love triangle with Killy instead of just you and Legolas. It's you, Legolas, and Killy. I'm really sorry, but they're making me do it. It was not his idea. I don't hold it against him. However, there has always been a scene that bugged the crap out of me when I read The Hobbit, and that was how the dwarves didn't fight Smaug at all. They didn't care that he was going to destroy Lake Town. They didn't care that it was their fault, and they certainly weren't going to give them any aid. And this, them not giving them aid was a big deal because they had tried to protect them, because they did care about the people of Lake Town, and they did try to fight Smaug instead of just hiding on the side of the mountain being like, ah! Instead, they're frickin' warriors. They knew they were going up against a dragon, and they knew that at the end of this, they're probably going to end up dead, so they were going to face him. That's why it was in the contract, that they could die. Death by incineration, which made Bilbo pass out. They knew that. Why would they hide from Smaug? I don't know. I hated that in the book. I despised it. My little 12-year-old self had to take a break from the book and put the book down and be like, they didn't do a stinking thing. And in this, they fight Smaug, and I loved it. Also, Gandalf versus Sauron was amazing. Number 6, biggest bookish pet peeve. I don't have any books on my shelves with this anymore because I'm tired of it. I got rid of them all. But it is the bad boy. I hate bad boys. And I'm not talking bad boys like Percy Jackson's kind of considered a bad boy. He doesn't really follow the rules. But he doesn't treat Annabeth like she's worthless. But, oh, it's such this thing. And it started with the Mortal Instruments. Ugh. With Jace. And then there's Damon. And then he's everywhere. And I am sick of it. I am sick of it. I hated Jace. I liked some of his lines, but I hated how he treated people. And then he's in every stinking young adult book. Again, young adult, I would much rather read an adult book or a middle grade book than a young adult book. And a big reason is the bad boy motif. Also love triangles, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the bad boy motif. And quite often, they're involved in love triangles. And ooh, I hate bad boys because they are abusive and they're jerks. I don't know why they're popular. I don't know why a single book has them, but apparently all young adult romance has them. Or most young adult romance. I'm tired of it. Number 7, pick one book to reread for the rest of your life. It took me a while. I sat there for like 30 minutes going, But finally I settled on, and this is going to shock people, but I settled on Exile's Honor. If I can't read the whole Black Jewels, if I can't read the whole of Harry Potter, I can settle on Exile's Honor. I would much rather read Exile's Honor, its sequel, Exile's Valor, and then the sequel to the duology, Take a Thief, but I can't. I had to pick one, so I would go with Exile's Honor. I reread the hardback that I bought so much that it started to fall apart. I love this book. I love Alberic. Number 8, how many books have you bought this year, and how many of them have you actually read? I had to watch my hauls. That took like 45 minutes, but I watched my hauls. I'll link all 4 of them down in the doobly-doo where I take a look, and just based on them, because I have no way to track otherwise, I have to do another haul coming up at the end of this month because I broke my bookbind band. Yeah, that didn't last more than like a month and a half. From them, I've counted 122 books, and of those, 60 I have read. About half, not the greatest. Number 9, your most loved villain. This is not on my best antagonist list, because in order to be my best antagonist, I don't love them, I want them dead. And it isn't love to hate villain, because I already know my answer would be Umbridge. Seriously, I had to sit there. I'm like, what is a villain that I actually love? And I love to read. And I love that we're getting more of him now. I'm going with Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z. I don't think he's even in this volume, except maybe at the end. Oh, there he is. Vegeta. Prince Vegeta, the Prince of all Saiyans. He is technically an anti-hero because he starts out as a villain and he's a good guy now. But honestly, out of all the villains that I've read, he's the one that I care for the most. In canon, we're getting more of him now. Akira Toriyama is finally picking up Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z again. So we're getting another Dragon Ball TV show. He is writing it. He wrote 2 movies. He's the only villain ever that I've teared up for. Love him, love him, love him. I need to read all of the manga. In case you're wondering, I'm not going to read Dragon Ball because there's a crap ton of nudity. Number 10, most anticipated 2015 release. Y'all should know this. It's Winter. Winter, the final book in the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. Can't wait for it. Can't wait. I'm dying to read that book and hold it in my hands and find out what happened. Alright, so that's the tag Sisterhood of the World Bloggers Awards. I'm sorry I'm lame, but I'm not tagging anybody. I'm too lazy. I have to film a bunch of other videos. So I'm going to get right on that. Good luck with your reading, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! What's a 10 tag peep? 10. God, I can't talk. Really? It went from my nose to my eye. Didn't get it. The blood. Like a year wait, like for everyone else. Like, stop saying like that. It talks about Peter Jackson. I want to say Percy Jackson because I talked about it. Number 7, Puck. Yes, because pucking. What? What's puck? What? Anyway. I would much rather read all of the Exiles Honor. That makes no sense. There is like this hair, traveling cat hair. Every time I touch my face, it flies away and lands somewhere else, and it's driving me nuts. How many books have you purchased this year, and how many, no, that's not what it says. Told you that hair is everywhere. 2 or 3 villains in fiction. Loki. Thor. That's not a villain. He is not a villain. He is writing it. Toast pop.